Guys, welcome back. This is going to be the first video of a series of vlogs explaining how to transition from minimalist or barefoot shoes to actually running barefoot. Now, in earlier videos I've explained the advantages of being barefoot and running barefoot in terms of creating a stronger foot and to raise the instep and strengthen the instep. So in this series, I'm going to explain how we transition from walking in conventional shoes to running and walking barefoot. So in this video, I'm going to give you the basics on how to envision your body and how to move your body while being barefoot. Now you might think that this is an easy task and that you do it all the time, but there are a few intricacies that are involved in walking barefoot that you probably have not experienced while walking with sneakers. First is posture. You're used to being elevated, and so now that your foot is flat on the floor, you're not really sure exactly which angle to be at. Wearing a raised shoe then creates an anterior pelvic tilt and creates slumped shoulders usually, along with a myriad of other issues. So the first thing that you want to do is to create a neutral pelvis. Now the easiest way to do that is to consider your pelvis as being a bucket of water, and if you tilt over, the water will spill. If you tilt back, the water will spill. Just think of this piece as the rim of the bucket and hold it as neutral as you can without spilling any water. Second, you want to snap your belly button towards your spine. You may stand usually like this, but by pulling in just the belly button and snapping it to the spine, already you'll feel that your posture has improved and that you have lengthened your body. The next step is to imagine an imaginary string pulling your feet, pulling your tailbone, pulling your abs, pulling your shoulders, and pulling your head ever so tall. And as you see, I envision that my rib cage expanded and my abs strengthened. So now we're at the position where we have the pelvis neutral, the belly button snapped in, the string pulling me forward or upward. Next, the position of the arms. You want to hold them, because we're jogging, we're not sprinting. We're going to hold them at a 45-degree angle, and the easiest way how to set that is to create a W and then bring them down and then in, and you'll find that is the correct angle to run at. You never want your forearm to go below parallel to the ground, so this is the best way. Now if you have a hard time keeping your forearms above parallel, you can always get a towel, wrap it around your neck, and use that as you jog. Now, before you run, you need to take an assessment of yourself and find out how do you feel. If you're not feeling at 100%, don't try this today, because this new neurological pattern will take a lot out of you mentally. And so you want to be ready for the challenge. So first, what we can do to relieve any tension that we've had in our feet is do a few exercises. And one is to take a golf ball and to just grip the golf ball as tight as you can. Hold that for a minute or as long as you can, and then repeat that same amount of time again. Do that for about 3 sets each foot. Okay? Now after you've done that, and also that you've rolled your foot on top of the golf ball, we're going to try and work on a few patterns in motion on, preferably initially, an elevated slope. That way it's easier on your joints. And also, if you can find a nice green area like this, it will be the perfect place, because it's a lot easier to develop the understanding on ground because it has some give to it. Concrete and pavement doesn't, but the soft soil does, and it's great to practice on that first. It's just a lot more fun. A nice day at the park is a nice time to try it out. So this is your first day trying to run barefoot. So what we'll do is we'll do a few laps of walking, and we're just going to get a feel for how it feels to be barefoot and moving around. If you've never been barefoot before, this may be a novel feeling. So for that, we'll go up and down no more than 100 meters, but anywhere from 50 to 100. Go down and I'll come back up. Now do that for as long as you'd like. In fact, if this is your first time, that can be the whole of your session, just walking back and forth barefoot on the grass. But I'm a little more used to walking barefoot and running barefoot, so what I will do is I'll actually demonstrate how to run up the slight slope and in a manner that is conducive to being barefoot. So before we run, understand that I will be clawing the ground as I walk down, and then a light jog just to get the initial pattern to come back to the camera. So remember the cues: neutral pelvis, snap belly button, string pulling you upwards, forearms never below parallel, and we're going to do that a few times. Also remember that when you're running, the forearm and elbow must go directly in front. A lot of energy is wasted when we try to cross, and also it gives us an imbalance in which we have to then work on counteracting. So try as best as you can to just move your arms in a single plane. Now what you want to look out for is that your feet don't fall in front of your hips, that they land under the hips, and also that the arms are straight or in line with the body, and that also that you're not slouching over or bending at the hips while running. You want to be leaning forward the whole body and not just at the hips or breaking at the hips. And also that you land on the forefoot. At no time should your heel touch the ground. If anything, the midfoot is the most, but it's definitely a forefoot activity, and you want to think more of timing and cadence and not basically the ground covered, but the amount of steps. And you see, with every repetition, or every time that I do it, I increase my efficiency in the form. And that's why this can be the whole exercise for today. Do 5 to 6. As soon as you feel that you've gotten the pattern right and correct, stop. Just remember, this is your first day. We're not looking for a world champion 100-meter sprint. We're just practicing, we're developing a pattern, and we're trying to make that pattern permanent. Thanks for watching.